officially, we are done. So you will not be hearing any more 2024 dramas out from me, okay? We are done. We did 3 and we're good. I feel like I'm milking the whole best dramas of 2024 concept for a while now. I thought this video would just be a good follow-up because that performed well, and you know, we're all about growth on YouTube. Hello, I am back with my very last 2024 video. I said I was going to try this video, so that's why I'm going to do it. This video is going to be every single thing I watched, and because this is a follow-up to my best of 2024 K-dramas and C-dramas, mainly the K-drama video because there are way more K-dramas I watched and didn't get to talk about. There's also some dramas that I saw so many comments about, so I will just briefly mention them. If there's still a drama that I missed, go ahead and I guess leave your comment asking about it. It would be nice if you guys all congregate under one comment so I would see it and be able to reply to all of you, because yeah, that would just be easier for me because that video actually has a lot more comments than I can possibly respond to. Thank you so much for watching it if you did, and if you didn't, check it out. I have my top dramas in that one. This one, I don't even tell you the ranking of anything. I'll just tell you my quick thoughts. So first up, we're just going to clear some things up from the previous video, and I will be talking about dramas that I do not plan to watch. So in first place, the comment that I saw the most comments about, or at least most people saying it was their favorite, was Mr. Plankton. And this one I feel like is a shocking one that if I were you, I'd also be like, why isn't this drama mentioned? And I do know about it. I have heard really, really good things about it. But for me, I'm actually going to say something that's going to get me murdered. I did not like It's Okay to Not Be Okay, and it is the same writer, so I was hesitant to start for that reason. And also, this is just a random one, but Woo Hwan and Iyumi, personally, I do not see their chemistry. I've seen clips of it and I wasn't enticed to watch it, but given the writer, I just thought that like there's very little possibility for me to enjoy it. Like with Love Next Door, I didn't really love Hometown Cha Cha Cha, and I didn't love Love Next Door, so I feel like there's some kind of correlation between writers and their dramas, and I don't really like the premise of Mr. Plankton either, as in I don't see myself personally enjoying it. I've also heard that the general vibes of it is kind of like a slapstick humor, and I'm not really into that either, so with all consideration into this drama and with my own opinions, I unfortunately do not plan to watch, but you never know. It is a romance, so I could always go back, but I really don't see myself doing that. And then the next one to mention that I didn't watch was Flex X Cop, and this one was really shocking. I know about it because I know On1y One because I saw him in Itaewon Class and in See You in My 19th Life, but I'm not a particular fan of him. Not that I hate him, but it's just like, like I watch a drama either for the premise or the cast, but in this case, it's like an action, I think. It's an action show, so that isn't my usual genre. Don't plan to watch this at all. I haven't even seen like a single clip about it. I just know that it was airing, and so that's gonna kind of take me on to the next point of like other dramas in that genre. They have to be super, super well reviewed for me to actually start it. So like I did watch Squid Games just to know what's going on in the community. It takes a lot for me to watch something that isn't my genre, and I've mentioned several times I'm really into the romance thing. So I tend to watch most romance dramas, and with Flex X Cop, it's not a romance. It's like an action, and I'm not really into that, which is also why, I don't know, I think I saw like Parasite the Grey, Doubt maybe, I don't really remember, but any other drama that is in those genres, I generally don't watch because, yeah, they aren't my genre. But there were a couple dramas that people mentioned that I haven't seen that I do plan on watching. So the ones that I do plan on watching because they either have a cast I like or it performed so well that I'm just like, oh, I need to hop on the train and know what people are talking about. So the first one's going to be Death Game Part 1 and 2. I remember when Part 1 came out, I planned to watch it because the cast is pretty incredible and there's a lot of people I'm a fan of, so I decided I wanted to watch it because of that. And then Part 1 came out and I was just kind of like, okay, like I'll just wait because it's not like I was in a rush to watch it because it isn't my genre. So then I waited until Part 2 came out, and Part 2 obviously came out this year, and then I still just haven't gotten around to watching it, but I do plan on just binging it all in one go. It's pretty short. I think each is 4 episodes, so now I can watch it complete in 8. And I also don't know the plotline at all, and I feel like, yeah, that'll be fun. I'm also a big fan of the cast, which is the main reason why I'm starting this. The next one I'm going to watch is Jeongnyeon, The Star is Born. Obviously, at the time that this was airing, I wasn't planning on watching it because it's not a romance, even though I hear there is some maybe. But I plan on watching it because it's an all-female cast and I've just heard really, really great things about it. Yeah, like rave reviews, like quality. So I do plan on watching it eventually. Joy of Life 2. So this is a Chinese drama and I actually just finished watching season 1 simply because some people had asked about it in my comments in my C-drama ranking video. And at that point I was like, oh, it's not like my genre, isn't it? I thought it was just because the posters are men, okay? On my drama list, the posters are all men, so I didn't think it was a romance. But what's so funny is they do have romance, and so because of that, I started watching it. But it's better off that it just didn't have romance at this point. It's just such a small thing in the grand scheme of things. I was actually very surprised by this in a very negative way. I honestly just wasn't really attracted to Joy of Life for some reason. It has really, really great reviews, but personally, I mean, I like the main lead, but he wasn't like, I don't know, I just didn't emotionally connect with him. The romance, I also just didn't feel emotionally connected to it. I will watch season 2 just to watch it, but if I'm being honest, I think season 2 was worse than season 1. Maybe if I'd watched season 1 back then, I think season 2 would be great because they did maintain most of the cast, which is really crazy because it was filmed like 5 years apart. I will finish it, I think, at this point because I did start it, but I just don't foresee it being in my list. Like right now, Joy of Life season 2 is like the worst 2024 drama I've watched at the moment. Maybe second worst because I didn't think they can get worse than Follow Your Heart. But yes, anyways, also plan on watching Love Song in Winter. I've heard this is just generic modern C-drama, and yeah, so I think I might watch it because one day you just want like a lighthearted watch, and so that is what Love Song in Winter is going to be for me. I'm in no rush for that. And then lastly, there's Jack and Joker, You Steal My Heart. So this is a Thai drama. What's crazy is that I watch BLs pretty regularly, and I just don't remember hearing anything about this drama whatsoever, and it literally has an 8.8 on my drama list. So I don't know what this is, but I will try to watch it. I feel like if something has that high of a rating, it has to be good, right? So I'm curious about that, but those are planned to watch. I don't know when I will get around to them. Maybe by the end of 2025, I will. Wow, I can't believe it's 2025. But yeah, maybe at the end of 2025, I will actually have these done by then. I don't even know if I would mention them anywhere else, but yeah, eventually. I plan on watching Pachinko Season 2 and Light Shop. I'm actually in the midst of watching, didn't mention that earlier. Also, really, really common drama I saw mentioned. I watched Moving and enjoyed it, and Light Shop just has a really stacked cast, which is why I plan on finishing it. It's also short. It's at eight episodes, so I plan on finishing it one day. Pachinko Season 2, it's also not really my genre, but I watched Season 1, so I feel like that's the reason why I just want to see it completed with Season 2. I'm just kind of curious what happens, but other than that, I don't really have a lot of emotional investment in the drama. Next, I will talk about dramas I dropped. I think there were a couple people curious, but this is actually to get the full picture of just what I saw in 2024 regardless. So there are only 6 dramas I watched and dropped. So the first one is Later I Laughed. I originally planned on finishing this. I got to episode 10, but the stand-up comedy bit was just too much. I just thought they focused way too much on that and not like anything else. It felt like stand-up comedy was the entire plot versus it being like a plot point to make her change her life or whatever. So yeah, it was just too much. I didn't care that much about stand-up comedy. And then there is Men in Love. This was a Chinese version of A Gentleman's Dignity, and A Gentleman's Dignity was actually really good. It was pretty unique in that it featured 40-year-old men as your main characters, and it was really funny in a way that I enjoyed. Men in Love, the Chinese version, just was so long and so draggy, and they just didn't have the charm that the 40-year-old men had in Gentleman's Dignity, mainly because the cast is not 40, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure all of them are in their late 20s at most, if not mid-20s, so it does not give off the same appeal, and it just wasn't very good. I dropped Addicted Heroin, which is the Thai version. I just didn't see the chemistry that I saw in the original Chinese version, so I was just bored. I dropped it at episode 5. Dreaming of a Freaking Fairytale, episode 2, I dropped it. The humor just wasn't my type, and I genuinely didn't see the chemistry. I thought I could have liked it because it's just like about fairy tales and like, yeah, I just couldn't get past it. I'm actually really surprised by the next one, The Best Day of My Life. I think I saw one comment about this drama, and at first I was just kind of like, oh, I've never heard about it. I'm surprised that I watched it, forgot what I watched, so I literally went back and I was like, did I watch this? And I do remember watching it, but yeah. I was expecting a fluff drama, nothing serious, but I just didn't feel the chemistry. I don't know, there's just no emotional investment. It fell very flat. Maybe I've seen one too many of these kind of dramas that this one didn't have an effect on me. Yeah, I dropped it at episode 4. And lastly, I dropped the story of Pearl Girl, and I dropped this at episode 15. This is right before everything gets really depressing, and as I mentioned in my C-drama video before, I'm not into sad stuff. I was planning on picking back up once it got happy, but then it ended sad. So yeah, not planning on finishing this. And real quick, before we actually get started on everything, I don't know if you noticed, but I am wearing these jewelry pieces, and that is because today this video is done as collaboration with Ana Luisa. So if you don't know, Ana Luisa is an affordable jewelry brand that makes sustainable, hypoallergenic, and water-resistant pieces. They have pretty classy pieces that go with like most of your wardrobe, and that's super perfect for me because I'm not like really into like super bold jewelry. I don't really wear a lot of jewelry, so I like them to be as like natural and inconspicuous as possible, which like really works with these pieces. They're very basic, easy to wear with anything, nothing too crazy. I actually chose both of these out. So this is a heart necklace, and I just think every girl needs a heart necklace. I think they're so cute, and yeah, I think it's just the perfect size, and it's not too big, it's not too small, it's very simple but cute. Yeah, it just gives a little like cute flair, and like I'm a gold girl because that's what they said in my personal color test in Korea. So yeah, and then I also chose out these earrings. These are super basic pieces that I can really wear with anything, and like it goes with anything, you know, it's not like something that you have to like pair. So yeah, that's why I really like it. And the hypoallergenic part is really important because I'm actually allergic to whatever they use in the Claire's jewelry because my ears get red and swell, and it's not a good look. But I've been wearing these earrings a lot recently, and I have not had any issues. So yay for hypoallergenic stuff. I actually don't know what I'm actually allergic to, but whatever I am, they don't use it in Ana Luisa jewelry, which is great. And so yeah, if you are interested, check out the link in my description below. I think they're having a New Year's sale right now, so if you need some jewelry pieces for yourself or some friends, I would recommend you check it out. Okay, and now we're finally ready to get started on the dramas that I will watch. Yeah, so there's a total of 75 dramas that I finished in 2024. There's 64 dramas that I watched that finished airing in 2024. Doesn't necessarily mean they're 2024 dramas, but for the sake of this video, I don't know how to organize the dramas that air in the mid, like December, January area. Yeah, so then I finished 9 dramas that aired and I finished in 2023. I finished 1 drama that aired in 2022 and 1 drama in 2018. Within this, 45 of these dramas were K-dramas, 22 were C-dramas, 5 were Thai dramas, 2 were Taiwanese dramas, and 1 was a Japanese drama. Real quick, I'm sorry, I have one more disclaimer. I will not be giving my individual ratings for every single one of these dramas. This is going to be so long. I have to dedicate less than 1 minute to talk about every single one of these dramas, and in my previous videos I spent like 60 minutes talking about like 10 dramas. So obviously I have to speed this. I will try to give the plot as quickly as I can. No ratings because that's just gonna take up time, and honestly the thing about ratings is they fluctuate so much, so I kind of wanted to think about them before I would put them out. That's what I did for my previous videos. Like I had to think about it, which is also why I adjusted during the video too. And so now we are ready to start, and we're gonna start with January. So in January I watched 10 dramas that I completed. So the first 2 are actually My Dearest. I binged this at the very, very beginning of 2024, and these are 2023 dramas, and I watched number 1 and 2. So I started it because I heard really good things, and then I dropped it because I got bored, and then I was like, wait, this is literally a romance drama, and I don't know why I was being stupid because it's literally called My Dearest. Like, how does that not sound like a romance drama? So I went back and then I powered through it, and I finally got to everything, and it was really, really good. But this is in a battle with my top 1 of 2023. I think it's so hard because I didn't watch it in 2023, and I feel like that's the entire point, but it was really, really good. It's literally my banner for my channel. You might not be able to see it, I think, on mobile, but if you look on desktop, it is My Dearest. So I clearly really, really enjoyed this drama. I can actually mention real quick that I did rate this a 10 out of 10. It was really, really good. Yeah, I'm glad I did watch it later though, because I didn't have to wait for the episodes, and it was a good binge watch. So yes. And then I finished A Good Day to Be a Dog. This has Chanwoo. I've mentioned before, I'm an Aroha. I've been an Aroha since pre-debut. I might literally have some Astro videos on this channel still. But yes. So I'm just not into the whole turning into cats, dogs concept. I just think it's weird. It was really disappointing. I don't know what I was expecting though, given the plot line. So Yes, I wouldn't watch it. Sorry, On1y, I love you, but don't love that. The Last Immortal, finished watching this in 2024 as well. It has Luisa. I've mentioned she's like my fave. I thought it was good. Nothing super crazy out there. Wasn't like terrible, but like nothing like super good. So it's kind of just like a mid like drama. Next is Tell Me That You Love Me. I actually thought this had a run, gave my 2023 drama a run for its money. My 2023 drama is actually Twinkling Watermelon, but obviously my Dearest is fighting for that. I thought at the time that Tell Me That You Love Me had a chance, but in the second half, it kind of just fell apart. I thought it was really original, that it was like a hearing and a hearing impaired relationship. Definitely gave me a lot of thoughts about accessibility things and just what it's like to live with a disability. I really thought that those aspects were refreshing, but in the second half I just wasn't sure what was going on, like why anything was happening. Felt like they created obstacles just to make obstacles. First half though, super solid. The chemistry is great. The overall tone of the drama is great. Just the plot progression in the second half was left me feeling like, why is this happening? But overall, still pretty good watch. Next, My Demon. I finished this. Okay, so my original thing was, at first I didn't realize it was a rom-com. I thought it was going to be way more serious. So when it turned out to be a rom-com, I liked it more. I personally didn't feel the chemistry between Sung Kang and Yoo-jung. Honestly, I just don't see Yoo-jung's chemistry with like most people she acts with. I think for me, she just gives off child actress still, and it just feels weird that she's like an adult now, because she still feels like a child actress in my opinion. I also say with this one, the second half just kind of fell off. Didn't feel the romance, obviously. And yeah, it was funny, but not in a way that I personally would enjoy, and just the way the plot progressed in the second half just kind of fell off for me, so Next is Gen Z. This was a 2023 drama that I went back and watched because I loved Luisa and I probably will get through all of her works one day. This one is so weird. Sorry, not weird. It just feels an entire like propaganda for traditional medicine. So that's like what this entire drama is focused on. It's interesting, but that's about it. Sorry. Next is Welcome to Samdalri. This feels like it should be so up my alley, but it did not have enough romance for me. It's childhood friends to lovers. Love that. I remember watching this drama feeling so invested. Ji Chang-wook and Shin Hae-sun have great chemistry, and I just remember feeling like every single episode I was like skipping to find their scenes, and there were so little of them. Like, I swear to God, there were some episodes where we only had like 10 minutes on our main characters, and then the plot line just revolves around like everything else. And so I think that was the most frustrating bit for me personally. I think you should go into this not watching it as like a romance, but it's more of a slice of life with romance. I like romance with a slice of life, but they didn't do it that way. Also, by the end, it just felt like it was wrapping up so quick. They have this entire obstacle, the entire drama, and then the obstacle is just overcome in like 5 minutes. And I'm just like, what? Why was any of this meant for? But yeah, so personally, I'm actually really disappointed in it, but it wasn't actually bad. I know a lot of people really like it. And next is Like Flowers in Sand. So I had no expectations for this drama. It's kind of funny because I started My Man is Cupid with Chung Dong-yoon, but he was doing 2 dramas at the time. I didn't get through My Man is Cupid, but I did get through Like Flowers in the Sand. I thought the relationship was better than I expected, but I think they like surprisingly like never got together, or they got together like really late. I just remember the romance, just the build up to it was great, and then afterwards it's not. I think it's so hard for a drama to keep its pace from the beginning. The beginning half is always the most interesting, and then the end half, everything just falls off. So that's how I felt Like Flowers in Sand. It was surprisingly better than I expected, though, for sure. Okay, so now we're on to February, and I watched Love for Love's Sake. This was very solid. I think I saw one comment mention it in my 2024 video. Yeah, very solid, very cute. I think the whole game aspect, because they're like immersed in a game, I just didn't personally see the point in it, but everything else was really great. I thought the chemistry between the leads was great. Yoon is a character so adorable. I like a good fluff drama. I feel like this was very fluff. But with dramas like this, I think it's always hard for me to include them in my ranking because it's like a different thing, you know, simply because it had a lot less episodes. I think this one had 8 episodes, and the duration I think is maybe 30 minutes or shorter for these kind of dramas. So it's really hard to compare to something that has like 16 hours or more to flesh out. So yeah, I watched PitBabe, and this was the first time I heard about Omegaverse, and I was shocked to say the least. I did watch A Shot for Killers. I actually saw this drama mentioned so much. It's not my genre. I don't even know why I started it, to be honest. Like literally doesn't make sense. Very out of character for me. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like super great. Just kind of watched it to pass time. Sorry if that isn't a good enough review for you, because I know I saw this drama mentioned a lot. I think the acting was really well done in this, and the plotline was pretty solid. Just no emotional investment from me. Marry My Husband, I talked about this already and don't feel like talking about it more. Celebrity, so this one I felt like it's one of those things that feel like it should have a revolutionary plot. This is a Netflix original, and so you just kind of have high expectations for it. I was genuinely so confused when our main leads got together. Like, I genuinely didn't think they liked each other, and when they kissed, I thought it was a joke that they had feelings for each other, but it was serious. I didn't feel much for this drama. Next is The Starry Love. This is a 2023 drama, and I was really disappointed by this. I heard really, really good things about it. I don't know, to me personally, it felt very low budget. I'm not actually sure that it was, but the acting, I just didn't feel anything for their characters. I don't really know how I felt about the acting in general. It was just so lighthearted, and I just couldn't take it seriously. So it wasn't done in a good way, because there can be unserious dramas and you can like them, but this one, I don't know, it just felt off to me for some reason. So I didn't particularly enjoy it, and was very disappointed once I finished it, because I felt like it had potential for sure, but it didn't get to where I wanted it to be. Next, I have Lost You Forever. I mentioned this 2023 drama. I did finish it. Only entertainable thing was watching people fight about the reverse harem and choosing. This, I feel like, is most comparable to Twilight, because everyone's just like fighting for their own ships. But Lost You Forever was just not as entertaining. Shining for One Thing. This is the 2022 drama I watched, and I don't know what mood I was in that I suddenly started going back and watching all these C dramas. I feel like, yeah, the first half of the year we just didn't have much airing, which is why. I expected a lot more, because I heard really, really good things about this as well. I feel like it's the worst version of Someday or One Day. I really, really enjoyed Someday or One Day. Definitely not bad. I think the plot is really interesting. It's a little bit more confusing to me than Someday or One Day with the time travel. And I think the love and chemistry between the leads was just not as good as in Someday or One Day. Yeah, really the only issue is the fact that I've seen Someday or One Day, and I just kept comparing, and the comparison did not help. So March, I watched I Feel You Linger in the Air, the uncut version, if that makes a difference. I was really surprised by this. This is a 2023 drama. I saw really, really good reviews. It felt like it was very quality drama, except I just didn't emotionally resonate with any of it. Like, I feel like objectively what it was, I should have liked it. It was like well done. I think the actors had chemistry, but I don't know. I watched it and I just did not care at all what was happening. I don't know what was wrong with me at the time. I just didn't feel anything, which was really odd in my opinion. Then there is Love to Hate You. I enjoyed this, really light watch. I know that people complain about how toxic the female lead is. Yeah, it's pretty silly, but because it's a silly drama, I think if it sets the tone of it being a silly drama, I don't think too deeply about it. And so that's actually how I felt about this drama. It was, I think, a little shorter. Maybe it was 8 episodes, 12. But yeah, I just didn't take it very seriously, but it was enjoyable for what it was. They were cute, nothing too annoying. A little, this is kind of just like a fluff drama to me. Everyone Loves Me, talked about it. Dr. Slump, talked about it. Pyramid Game. Yeah, this is also not my genre, and it was really well done. I think the only thing for me is the premise of how the game seemed to last throughout I just didn't find it very believable. I think if that was done, this actually could have made my top 8 of 2024. But other than that, I love that it's an all-female cast. I thought every single person that acted really, really well. Like, their characters were so believable. Changda in this role did so well. It was such a great acting debut for her. And I think that, yeah, I'm interested in seeing like what she does in the future. So in April, I watched Wedding Impossible, talked about it. Legend of Shenli, talked about it. Koi wo sura nare nidom gajoto. I feel like this title's like Love is Better the Second Time Around. This one was really solid, enjoyable watch. I liked both characters. It was pretty watch. Yeah, pretty solid. Just nothing too serious, nothing too deep, but obviously given the duration of it, I always just think it's hard to do that in that certain duration. So for what it was good. Nothing super out of the park, revolutionary, but very solid, enjoyable watch. Next is Nightflower, and I finished this a couple months late. I think it's aired earlier in 2024, but this is still a 2024 drama. The female lead just did super, super great. She actually got nominated for the MBC Daesang for this role, and I thought this really went under people's radars. I think I saw a couple comments on it in my previous video as well. I personally enjoyed it. I think I saw that it had pretty good ratings, which is why I ended up picking it up. So Honey really killed her role. I think the male lead, he just did not come in comparison. This is the same criticism I have for Marry My Husband, but I just think that the male lead could not support the female lead, because the female lead just had so much charisma that our male lead just, I feel like, could not keep up with. And I think they have quite the age gap, so also I feel like that part was like, I wasn't very invested in the romance, and obviously I say I like romance. So otherwise, the plotline was good. I think the humor, it was a funny, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure the humor in this was really well done, and Honey just, again, killed this role. She did great. I really loved watching her character. I watched Unknown, so this is one of the 2 Taiwanese dramas I watched. I think I've seen better brothers to lovers. Obviously, they're not blood related, but this is a common trope. I remember really liking it at some point. It's got that dark, moody, subtle, angsty feel that I like. I remember I was watching this on air, and I think it's 1 episode per week, and sometimes episodes would just feel so slow. So I think I don't love it as much simply because I watched it while it was airing. I think if this was a binge watch, it would have been a lot better. But yeah, so not bad. Also, I think there could have been more chemistry between the main leads, but whatever. Blossoms in Adversity talked about this. Queen of Tears talked about this. Will Love in Spring talked about that. Okay, in May, I watched Destined, and I watched it a year late because I had withdrawal after Blossoms in Adversity, and I just needed a good C-drama to watch. So Destined, the first half, really solid. I liked the dynamic. It was really interesting, but in the second half, I just got so bored, and then there's so much politics going on that their romance and their character development, just not getting it, not seeing it, so that was kind of like the main disappointing part, but the beginning half, very, very solid, actually. I watched Chicken Nugget, not my genre. I don't know why I watched this, to be honest. I think there were so many actors in this that were super well known. My favorite scene is the Jeongnyeon cameo. And other than that, I just did not think this drama was worth a watch. Watched Jazz for Two. This was weird. It was pretty toxic. I don't know why I watched that. Amidst a Snowstorm of Love, talked about. Okay, so in June, I watched Frankly Speaking. Very short, quick watch. Yeah, there wasn't really anything going on here. It was very unserious, but didn't really feel the chemistry between the leads, didn't really feel their characters. Yeah, it was just kind of boring. I finished also The Atypical Family. I think I mentioned this in my other video. I guess I could talk about a little more, but my main thing with this one is that I was pretty confused about the plotline and the time, because it's like this whole time traveling aspect. So I think it confused me a little too much in a way I didn't get. I liked the originality, and I didn't understand how their romance developed, so that was kind of my criticism of it. Wasn't bad though. It's pretty fresh, so that definitely gives bonus points. I finished Hierarchy at this time, as everyone knows. Everyone says it's like the worst drama, and they wish that I put that as my worst drama. I enjoyed it up to a certain extent. I think it's really just the way things ended, and that matters a lot with this type of genre because it's like a suspense thriller kind of thing. So the build up to everything was not bad. The acting also is not bad, but it's just the execution at the end, especially, it just wasn't great. So, and then during this time, I went back and watched Story of Yanxi Palace, and the main reason is because at this time I was watching the double, and obviously the female leads are the same. So then I finally just got curious about Woo Jin-yan, and I finally went back and watched it. I didn't love it as much as I thought I would. I think the main reason is because I was on the ship of the original guy, and obviously that didn't happen. Other than that, Woo Jin-yan as Wei In-lo was so iconic. I mean, I understand why this is so popular. Unfortunately, I think I should have watched it back then to really be as attached to it. But it still holds up several years later, because this is the 2018 drama I watched. So the fact that it holds up 6 years later is very impressive. So pop off. And then right after that, I finished the double because the double finished airing. I already talked about it. I actually went back and rewatched Story of Kunning Palace. As you can tell, I was in pretty strong withdrawal again, so I watched another historical. I actually saw most of Story of Kunning Palace spoiled at the time that it was airing. So many people just posted the clips, and I just didn't watch it. And eventually I heard enough good things about it that I decided to watch it in full to see the development. Personally, I don't understand when they fell in love, but other than that, the acting was really on point. So very solid. And then I finished The Midnight Romance in Hagwon, also mentioned in my previous video. July, Follow Your Heart, finished that in previous video. My stand-in, I didn't really follow this along very well. I don't know, it's been a while since I've seen like a good Thai drama. The chemistry was and just following along the plotline, I feel like I was skipping through this a lot, and I just wasn't really interested in what was going on. I also finished The Princess Royal, have my thoughts on that. Lost You Forever, have my thoughts on that. As Beautiful as You, also have my thoughts on that. August, I finished my Sweet Mobster. I made a video about it. But basically, Taegu is great. Other than that, nothing made sense. Nothing was really good about it otherwise. I watched Miss Night and Day. I talked about this. Just Wish, more romance. Serendipity's Embrace, talked about it. My Love Mix-Up. Okay, so this is the first solid Thai drama I watched. This was cute, fluffy, sweet. They are so adorable. But I've seen them before in, I think, My School President, and My School President was also good. Short, cute, fluffy watch. So My Love Mix-Up was kind of just the same thing. Pretty adorable, nothing too tropey and annoying, and yeah, super cute. In September, I watched Are You the One? I'm pretty sure I was late to this as well. I didn't watch it while airing, but I talked about that already. Queen Woo, it was just much. Unfortunately, I thought she had a lot of chemistry with Ji Chang-wook, but Ji Chang-wook was obviously just a cameo. Cameo? I don't know why I watched this, to be honest, either. The Time of Fever, I made a video about this as well. Super good, super well done. Deserves everything in the world, except why is it not wrapped up? People, please just wrap up your dramas. Like, I'm not into the whole seasonal thing. Like, I really just wish they did it all in the time they spent. Next, The Trainee. I was really liking this at some point because I do work, I've mentioned, in the film media industry, so a lot of what he was going through was so relatable. But the actual romance part, it took so long to develop. I was surprised by how long it took to develop. So that was like the main disappointing part. Romance in the House, talked about. Good Partner, talked about. Cinderella at 2 a.m. I mentioned it in my August rom-com trio. It was just mid. Like, it wasn't bad, it wasn't good. I just knew from the beginning that the synopsis would get draggy, and it did. To a certain point, I was like, why aren't you guys together already? Like, come on now. Like, what is the big deal? It had a little bit more depth than I thought it would, but ultimately draggy. Next is Bad Memory Eraser. I think this had a lot of potential plot-wise because I like the concept of a bad memory eraser. I mean, I think it's a relatable emotion, wanting to delete those feelings that have happened to you in your life. But I didn't like the execution. I didn't like the female lead from the second she entered the scene. Nothing to do with the actress, just her character was awful. And yeah, in general, I just think I hated every single character. And his character too was like, I would just want to like you, but I can't really, even when he got like cocky. Yeah, I think it had potential, just wasn't executed in a good way. Yeah, shame. The Only One, I made a video about this. I personally wasn't emotionally attached. I think I would be looking forward to season 2 more, where I think there's a little bit more action. They've been building a lot for a while, and I mean, we love good development, but it's just a little too slow for me. Like, I just wanted to speed up a little bit. This is a better binge watch. I think watching this week by week could be a little bit painful. But I mean, the point is they're developing, and it's like all these details and stuff like that. So if you're really into that, highly recommend. It has really, really great reviews. I personally just wish it sped up a little more. So in October, I finished No Gain, No Love. I mentioned this was actually the best of the 3 that I watched, which was surprising because at the time that I filmed the video, it was the worst. And basically, yeah, no chemistry was my main issue. Other than that, pretty solid, fun, good. Yeah, Spice Up Our Love. This was actually really, really disappointing because when I was watching No Gain, No Love, I was really invested in this couple, but I don't know. I'm sorry. Spice Up Our Love felt very cheap to me, and I don't know. I feel like in a way just threw away everything that I really liked about them in No Gain, No Love. Yeah, unfortunate. I think the premise was kind of the fault. I think I would have enjoyed a spin-off, just not done like this. So, too unserious for me. Love Next Door, talked about it. Love in the Big City. I actually also have a video about this. Really enjoyable. As a shipper, struggled a little bit because the way it ends. But other than that, well done. Good. It was pretty solid. What Comes After Love, also talked about this. Dear Haiti. To talk about it, I talked about this already. So in November, I did watch The Judge from Hell. I saw so many comments about this. Unbelievable amount of comments about this. Basically, I only watched this for Shinhei. The fact that I watched it was even impressive because this is not my genre. It was heavy on the action and the romance. They had better chemistry than I was expecting, actually, because I mean, Shinhei has been around for a long time. I thought I was going to have that emotion the way I felt with Marry My Husband and what's the other one? Like Nightflower. I thought I was going to feel like the male lead was lacking in comparison. I didn't think he lacked in comparison. He definitely didn't stand out as much as Shinhei did, but I mean, Shinhei was kind of our lead, so it makes sense. Honestly, I just wanted more romance, but that's honestly not the flaw of the drama, because it's just this genre. Like, what was I expecting? Like, I was expecting romance with a side of action, but obviously it's action with a side of romance, so that's the only reason. Other than that, it was really solid, especially for someone that doesn't watch this genre. Yeah, really solid. I honestly think this is Shinai's best work, in my opinion. I really think that her acting really popped off in this. I was not expecting her to play like a villainous role ever, but upon seeing it, I hope she keeps doing it. Like, I really just want her to be bad girl now. So then I finished Rise of Ning, talked about it, Let Free the Curse of Taekwondo, made a video about it. Solid. Felt like To My Star 2.0, except To My Star was better. Sorry. Family by Choice, I still mentioned. I like the C-drama version better. Sorry, that's all it is. The Trunk, also talked about it. In December, I finished Blossom, and I talked about it. Squid Games Season 2. So yeah, I mentioned this at the very early beginning. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting to watch this. I only watched Squid Games Season 1 because I wanted to know what the community was talking about. And remember, I said, if a drama is popular enough, I will force myself to watch it, and that's what I did with Squid Games 2. I can't say that I enjoyed Squid Games 2. I found myself skipping through a lot. Personally, I felt like the main character seems so one-track minded right now. Like, I get the whole, like, he's been through the games once, so his, like, entire mission is to, like, prevent the second game. But I don't know, other than that, he doesn't really have a personality besides wanting to end the games. And I just feel like there could be more. Another issue I have with this drama is there are way too many characters. So many characters. And last flaw of this drama is the fact that it's not done. Why do you make a season 2 and not even finish it off? So now we're waiting on season 3, and now one thing is, if you make a season 3 and it's gonna be this far apart, honestly, expectations are gonna go up, and if it doesn't execute, it's just gonna be a lot worse. So they might as well have stuck it all together. And yes, so then I finished Love Your Enemy. It was it was short, cute, fluffy watch. Nothing more, nothing less. I stand by my rating. And I guess I'll include When the Phone Rings because I mainly watched it in 2024, but I obviously included my best of 2024. That actually finished on January 4th, so I finished it already. And with that is all 75 dramas that I watched. I really sped run the heck out of it. If you haven't seen my other video, that's where I talk about the in-depth reviews of them. I don't know, just let me know in the comments if you appreciate this format, what you would have wanted to see. Personally, I don't think I would want to do this again next year. I feel like I'm milking the whole best dramas of 2024 concept for a while now. I thought this video would just be a good follow-up because that performed well, and we're all about growth on YouTube. So that is it for today, and officially, we are done. So you will not be hearing any more 2024 dramas out from me, okay? We are done. We did 3 and we're good. Yeah, so what is to come? I actually have a lot more non-drama related videos. I'm thinking that I could start doing like a recap of what I am watching per month. Right now, I am currently watching Love Scout, When the Stars Gossip. What else? The Blossoming Love, because Blossom is in every C-drama title ever. So yeah, I think I could talk a little bit more on my individual thoughts on these dramas at the end of January, maybe do a summary of like what I watched in January kind of thing, so then at least I'll have that one drama video to keep up with. Other than that, yeah, I think I have other things to make. I have a Transit Love video coming out because Transit Love will be back. Yeah, so once again, I do talk a lot about Korean entertainment, so that is the goal, to stick to doing that. So for a while, dramas are going to take a little bit of a break, but hopefully you're interested in like everything Korean entertainment, because I do feel like generally people are. Yeah, this is quite a long closing, but that is it for this video. If you're interested, please join the Discord. People have been using it. Yeah, it's pretty cool seeing everything going on. If you have any more dramas that you want to talk about, mention, or hear my opinion on, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I will try my best to see it and respond. There's just so many comments these days, which is great. I love it. I love to see it. Thank you to everyone that just joined my channel. But yeah, so that is all for today, and I will see you hopefully in another one.